We've all been there. You click on a large video file, and instead of playing, your computer freezes, or it throws up a warning that your storage is full. To keep things running smoothly, every computer is constantly juggling two completely different tasks: how much total information it can hold, and how quickly it can grab that information when you ask for it. To understand how it handles this, think of your computer as a physical office space. The top of your desk is your computer's primary memory, often called RAM. Think of it as your immediate workspace. It is incredibly fast because everything is right in front of you, but the physical space is quite limited. You can only work on a few documents at a time. Then you have your secondary storage, like your hard drive. This is a massive metal filing cabinet shoved into the far corner of the room. It can hold years and years of records, but getting to them takes serious physical effort and time. So, how fast your computer actually feels completely depends on how well it predicts what you want to do next, moving those files from the slow corner cabinet onto your fast desk before you even realize you need them. This storage hierarchy table shows capacity and speed moving in opposite directions. Top-level working memory operates incredibly fast, in fractions of a nanosecond. Conversely, bottom-level magnetic tape holds exponentially more data, but takes full seconds, a massive delay. Getting files out of that cabinet involves two different speed limits. First is access time, the delay to locate the exact folder you want. Second is the data transfer rate, how many total folders you can actually carry over to your desk every second. Today, we think of this storage as invisible digital space, but 50 years ago, those filing cabinets were quite literal, massive machines filling entire rooms, taking serious physical time to spin up and search. Whether you are looking at a giant vintage tape drive or the sleek solid-state chip inside your phone today, the core objective of the system remains identical: push data up the ladder into the processor as quickly as the hardware allows. But what happens if the mechanical filing cabinet breaks down? To protect against hardware failure, computers use a backup strategy called RAID. Think of it as linking multiple filing cabinets into a single, unified team to protect your records. One approach is called mirroring. The computer sets up two identical filing cabinets and perfectly copies every single document into both of them in real time. So if one drive breaks, the other is completely ready to go. Another approach is striping. To retrieve large files faster, the computer tears a file into segments and scatters them across multiple drives. It uses an extra drive strictly to check for errors, ensuring the pieces can be perfectly glued back together. Of course, magnetic drives aren't the only way we store data. We also use physical, removable optical disks like CDs and DVDs. On an optical disc, your files are physically engraved into the shiny plastic surface. The data forms a microscopic landscape made up of flat planes called lands and tiny depressions called pits. This diagram shows how a reader scans the landscape. When a laser hits a flat land, light bounces cleanly into a sensor. But when it strikes a pit, the light scatters. The computer translates these reflections into digital code. Ultimately, all of this stored data, whether mirrored across magnetic server racks or physically burned into the plastic of a disk, is just sleeping code. It waits there until the computer can translate it into a format humans can actually see. That translation process ends when the dark data is finally pulled from the vault and painted onto your screen. A display is a massive, dense grid made up entirely of individual dots called pixels, which is short for picture elements. Every single one of those tiny pixels creates its final color by mixing together just 3 specific colored lights: red, green, and blue. Because the computer can set each of those 3 colors to 256 different levels of brightness, mixing them together gives each individual pixel over 16.7 million possible color variations. This diagram shows 2 common screen layouts, highlighting that resolution is simply a calculation of how many of these pixels are packed into the display. Older square screens had fewer pixels, while modern high-definition screens pack in millions. Because the screen has so many pixels, the computer's video memory has to work incredibly hard. It calculates the exact color mixture out of 16.7 million options for thousands of dots, all at the exact same moment. This diagram shows 2 different methods for physically drawing those pixels onto the screen: On the left, older interlaced displays drew every other line in alternating passes, while modern progressive displays on the right draw every line sequentially for a much smoother image. So when a high-definition image appears instantly on your screen, you are watching the finish line of a massive digital relay race. The computer successfully pulled raw data from the physical vault, rushed it to the working desk, and perfectly lights millions of microscopic RGB lights, all inside a fraction of a millisecond.